Legislators on the Committee of Defence and Internal Affairs are concerned that the expenditure of the Uganda People's Defence Forces has shot through the roof under unclear circumstances. In the Ministerial Policy Statement and Budget Estimates for the 2014-2015 financial year presented to Parliament by the Committee Chairperson Namugwanya Bugembe, classified expenditure more than doubled between 2012 and 2014 from 122 billion to 300 billion shillings. But Defence Minister Dr. Crispus Kionga says Ugandans should be glad that the budget has increased, since that means a more secure country.
This is money that is bringing value in terms of security, and the money, the expenditure, the procedures of procurement are under the purview of the Auditor General.
The classified budget is not publicly accounted for, but Opposition Shadow Minister for Defence and Internal Affairs, Mubende, says they are concerned that the taxpayer is getting a raw deal.
We also want Parliament to critically look at classified expenditure. It has been going on and on and on. In this budget alone, it is 300 billion shillings in classified expenditure for the military. For the police, another 48 billion.
This money is used for operations and procuring sensitive military hardware. The security budget covers the Ministries of Defence and Internal Affairs, the Police Force, the Prison Service, and the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control. The sudden increase in the Army's classified expenditure comes at a time when the UPDF is heavily involved in foreign missions. Government says this expenditure is vital to secure Uganda from terror groups such as the Somali-based Al-Shabaab and the rebel groups like the LRA in Central African Republic and the ADF in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Meanwhile, the long-running debate on retirement in the UPDF also came up in Parliament. Some MPs argued that there was no clear policy on the retirement, leaving some soldiers to remain in service against their will.
It is not only unconstitutional, but also a gross violation of human rights of soldiers. Keeping such a disgruntled group of soldiers is a threat to national security.
Minister Kionga, however, says government needs 1 trillion shillings to pay up retired soldiers before it can retire others.
It makes no sense for us now to retire more soldiers when those who have retired are still there and not paid.
But former opposition leader Dr. Kiza Besigye, who retired a few years ago after serving in the army for 18 years, argues that lack of funds is not the main reason why soldiers are not being retired as expected.
The option must be left to the officer to decide whether he wants still to go home, even if you are not yet in a position to pay him. Because, again, it is his right to retire when he is due to retire.
Except the 1991 reduction in force, 2007 and 2008, when the UPDF retired many soldiers at one go, the UPDF retires less than 20 personnel annually. Sheila Nduhukire, NTV Parliament.